Welcome to Green Acres, the place to be for education, generative agriculture, and the fine arts. Let's see how the magic of Green Acres can transform you today.
Hi, welcome to Green Acres. My name is Lori. I'm an environment educator here. Today I'm standing in the old church, which was built in 1825. And it started off as a church and slowly became many different things throughout its time. And today it is now our classroom that we use for field trips. Green Acres had its first ever educational field trip here in this building in 1989. And since then it's remained a classroom and we still have kids coming here, and it's now just one of many Green Acres education sites. So today we're gonna learn a little bit about recycling and how to best recycle for your curbside recycling. I have here, this is the best resource, is going to Rumpke's website and figuring out exactly what they allow you to recycle or not recycle. So we're gonna go through each of these categories here today to kind of get into more detail about each of them. The very first one is paper and cardboard. And paper is very easily recyclable. Just make sure you take off any paper clips or binder clips. Staples are okay, but receipts are actually not recyclable. So for me, when I go to the grocery store, I actually refuse a receipt. Now we're going to go into cardboard. Cardboard can sometimes be a little tricky when it's a food cardboard. So for example, when I get this pizza box and I eat all my pizza, it's left and it's really greasy and gross and dirty, and there's lots of food particles in here. And this is not recyclable. This is way too dirty. However, sometimes you get your pizza and sometimes it might you just need to take out this piece of plastic and this paper. And now when we look at this cardboard, this is actually really clean. And so this can be recycled. And even if the bottom was dirty, I could even just rip off the top and recycle that. All right, our next category is glass. Now, glass is tricky because it used to have to be, you had to sort out the greens and the browns and the clear glass. Well, now we can take all glass, doesn't matter what color it is. They just ask that it's clean, dry, empty, and that the metal lid is removed. The metal lid can still go in your recycling. It just needs to be separated from the glass. Next up is metals, and metals there's several kinds. We have cans like this, which you might get from Coca-Cola or Sprite or maybe a juice can. And then there's also tin cans like this, which are coming from soup or maybe some SpaghettiOs. And both of them, they can go in the recycling. Just make sure that you clean them out and give them a good rinse before putting them in your bin. All right, our next category is cartons. Cartons are a little different from cardboard because they might have some kind of plastic element to them. Now, for these kinds of cartons, we want to make sure we remove any plastic lids that may have been there. And if it's a smaller carton like this, like a milk or a juice box, we want to make sure we remove the straw as well before putting this in our curbside bin. All right, time to move on to the hardest category. Plastics. Plastics are really hard because every single plastic is going to have that chasing arrow symbol on it that has a number in it. And all that chasing arrow symbol is telling us is what kind of plastic it's made from. And so it's up to us to find out what kind of plastic can actually be recycled. Here in the city of Cincinnati, it doesn't matter what number is on your plastic. It could be a 1, it could be a 5, it could be a 7. What matters is the shape of the plastic. So, what kind of plastic are we looking for? We're looking for bottles and jugs. And bottles and jugs are defined as having a smaller mouth than a bottom. So that means if the mouth is smaller than the bottom, this can go in your curbside recycling. And the best way to do it is to have it clean, dry, empty, and put the lid back on. Now for bigger things, you're gonna wanna actually take these and crush them up so that they take up less space in your recycling bin. And then you can put that lid back on, and these all go into the recycling. All right, so now we've reviewed what can and cannot be recycled. I'm gonna turn it over to Kelly, and she's gonna have a little activity for us where we can try to play along and see if we can sort out the recycling from the trash.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm an agricultural educator here at Green Acres, and I have some household items that I'm gonna walk through with you guys on how I would determine if they are recyclable or not. So the first thing I have here is a jar. I can tell that it is glass, and it's been rinsed through and cleaned. I've removed the lid because I know that it has to be removed in order to be recycled. So this one is ready to be recycled on the curb. Next, I have a cottage cheese container, and if I remember, plastic is based off of the shape, and it needs to have a smaller mouth than a base. This one has a larger mouth than the base, so that tells me that I need to throw this one away. Next, I have a can. It's an aluminum can, and I know that this one can go right into the recycling bin after I've given it a rinse and it's dried. So I'll place this one in the recycling bin. I have here a plastic clamshell container. Since this is plastic, I need to go by the shape. And this one has a larger mouth than the base. So that tells me this one is going to go into the trash. Here I have a plastic juice bottle, and since it's plastic, I need to go off of the shape. It has a smaller mouth than the base, so that tells me once it's cleaned and rinsed that I can put this right into the recycling bin. Here I have an egg carton. This one's made out of styrofoam. Styrofoam is not recyclable, so this is going to end up in the landfill. So I'm gonna place this in the trash. I have a juice carton, and since it's a carton, this one I know can be recycled. However, it still has a straw. I cannot recycle this straw, so I'm just going to remove it, place the straw into the trash, and then my carton can go into the recycling. Last, we have a plastic grocery bag, and since this is plastic, I need to go off of the shape of the item. However, it does not fit the shape that we can recycle with curbside recycling, so this one, for now, is going to go into the trash. If you would like to see how you could recycle a plastic grocery bag and some other items, tune in for our next video on advanced recycling tips. And thanks for joining and learning all about our basic recycling tips here at Green Acres, the place to be.